Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be another Canadian Soldier Reacts video, and today we are looking at the British Army's most elite regiments. Before I get into it, please leave a like on the video if you like what I'm doing, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And comment down below. I really love talking to you guys. So let's get into it.
Deep within the British Army exists a unit shrouded in secrecy and forged in the fires of conflict. The Special Air Service, better known as the SAS, traces its roots back to the deserts of North Africa during the Second World War.
Well, that was kind of
Founded
poetic.
in 1941 by David Stirling, the SAS revolutionized desert warfare with their daring raids and lightning-fast strikes behind enemy lines. Today, the selection process for the SAS is considered one of the most grueling in the world. Only the toughest, both mentally and physically.
Okay, so this is something I'm noticing. Well, I think I started noticing it a long time ago. It's just coming to the front. This is either propaganda or media, and one of the things that they do is they really hype up the poetic speech and the danger. Well, I mean, there's a lot of danger. So, but the difficulty. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is hard, right? I've worked with the SAS before. In fact, I've competed against the SAS before, and my regiment won. I know people won't like hearing me say that. No one ever likes it when I say Canada won, but Canada won. While this job is hard, and it is extremely hard, there's nothing mythical about any of it. But anyway, let's keep going.
Endure the arduous tests of strength, endurance, and tactical cunning. From the mountains of Wales to the jungles of Belize.
Okay, so I'm thinking this, I mean, unless the SAS has started bringing in women or guys that dye their long hair red, I'm thinking these pictures have nothing to do with the actual SAS.
These potential SAS operatives are pushed to their absolute limit. Those who make it through this crucible of fire emerge as near mythical warriors, embodying the regiment's
near mythical warriors. So, like, I'm having a lot of trouble with this, guys. Maybe to civilians, we are near mythical warriors, but to us, it was just a job. Yeah, it was a hard job. It was a job where we went through intense training, and we were constantly training. I was in for 12 years, and I don't think we ever took a break in 12 years. I mean, you know, we took a break when we were on block leave, but that was about it. Other than that, we were either on a training course or on a training exercise or on deployment somewhere. We were on 48 hours notice to move anywhere in the world at any time, and that often got dropped to 24 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, and then we were gone. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, the training is hard, but here's the thing about the training that we do. It's hard, but it's more mentally tough than it is. I mean, yeah, it's really physically tough, but it's the mental that'll get you. As long as you've got the mental fortitude to tell yourself that you have to go on, the conditioning will come. That's what all that training is for. The conditioning just comes. And the training courses that we go on and the training exercises that we go on teach us the skills that we need for these different areas of combat, and eventually it just becomes second nature. And that's the whole point of the training, is, we called it building up muscle memory, but essentially what it means is you do it so often and so precisely that it becomes second nature to you. And then at that point, the job, to us at that point, the job just seemed easy.
Motto, who dares wins, and win they have time and
Who dares wins. Our motto was "We dare," and I've ticked off some of the British guys before on this channel with this, but we used to take the piss out of them all the time when we were working with them. They would have their motto "Who dares wins," and we'd shoot right back, "We dare."
again in countless operations around the globe, from the Iranian embassy siege to the ongoing war on terror. The names of these missions are whispered in hushed tones that detail.
Yeah, okay, that's just so overly dramatic.
The covert nature of their work.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether it's a reporter or whether it's a PR guy, but it's just, this is stuff for civilians. I mean, yes, these guys are good. I will take nothing away from them because they're some of the best that I ever worked with. But they're not mythical. It's not that incredible, at least not to us.
Chapter 3, The Parachute Regiment, Courage.
Chapter 3, this is the second one.
Undeniably awe-inspiring about soldiers descending from the sky, ready to engage the
Oh,
enemy
Paris.
at a moment's notice. The Parachute Regiment, affectionately known as the Paras, embody this spirit of airborne assault and unwavering courage. Formed during the darkest days of World War II, they were instrumental.
Yeah, so full disclosure, I was SSF, but I was not para commando. So the Canadian Commando actually fed out of my regiment, one of 3 regiments that it fed out of. But 1RCR was actually barracked in Petawawa with the commando before they got disbanded. That's a story for a different time. When they did get disbanded, however, the jump companies went to 3RCR, and my good buddy Sergeant Schneb was in any armor platoon in 3RCR at the time. And I've worked with British and Canadian paras a great deal. Well, Canadian, obviously, but work with British paras a lot, work with Canadian paras a great deal. And one of the things that they never really liked to hear from us, and there's an old rivalry between 1RCR and the Commando, because we were 2 SSF units stationed in the same base. So you'll hear stories, but we always used to tell them, okay, you jump out of airplanes, but other than that, we do exactly the same job. You just get there by a different taxi. We use helicopters, and you jump out of airplanes. Our helicopters land. They work.
Instrumental in key operations such as the Battle of Arnhem and the D-Day landings, their signature maroon beret has become a symbol of bravery and tenacity, worn with immense pride by those who have earned the right to don it. The road to becoming
there have been a couple of people who have smeared that maroon beret, but okay.
Fortitude. Recruits are pushed to their limits, undergoing grueling parachute jumps, intense fitness training, and demanding tactical exercises designed to forge them into an
I am not a para, but I have jumped, a civilian jump, not military jump. I know what they jump with. So we typically would carry, especially in the light infantry, which is a weird designation, light infantry. You carry way more in the light infantry role than you do in the mechanized infantry role. We did both. But the amount that they carry, so we carried 110-pound ruck, 35-pound web gear, plus our weapons. And then that was under normal circumstances. And then if we were in the light infantry role, then we would be carrying our operational equipment with us, whether that would be the C6 machine gun or the old GPMG machine gun, 60 millimeter mortar with rounds, 84 millimeter Carl Gustaf rocket launcher with rounds. TOW, and when I was in anti-armor platoon, the TOW missile launcher with rounds. And if you've ever seen a TOW missile launcher, those things are massive, and the rounds themselves are massive. So we carried a lot of kit. Those guys jump with it all, which is something that is impressive. Like, don't take that away from them. But other than that, jumping, at least for me as a civilian, it wasn't grueling.
Soldiers. Whether it's deploying rapidly into combat zones, conducting humanitarian aid missions, or providing a rapid reaction force, the parachute regiment
Russian
stands ready to
or
answer
Chinese?
the
What?
call,
I don't know what the symbolism on that helicopter is, but I'm pretty sure it's not British.
Chapter 4. The Special Reconnaissance Regiment, Masters of Covert Operations. In the shadowy...
So this is something interesting. And I'm not 100% sure what Canada has now. But when I was there, reconnaissance was a platoon in the battalion. So reconnaissance was an asset of the battalion commander. Having a reconnaissance regiment that's an asset of the battalion commander, although that's a little bit weird. Or not battalion, brigade commander. Yeah, because it should be regiment, brigade, battalion. Or is it battalion, regiment, brigade? No, it's battalion, brigade, regiment. Anyway, having that larger reconnaissance group as an asset of the brigade commander or higher is a little bit foreign to me. I can see its uses, though, to be honest. Yeah.
In the world of military intelligence, the Special Reconnaissance Regiment stands as a paragon of stealth and precision. Formed in 2005, the SRR was established to provide the British Army with unparalleled capabilities in covert surveillance.
This war room that they got here, this command and control center,
secrecy,
nice.
Involving deep cover missions and intelligence gathering in hostile territories.
Geez, there's a lot of touching going on there.
Technology and trained in advanced surveillance techniques, the SRR excels in providing critical intelligence that shapes military strategy. The selection process for the SRR is grueling, demanding exceptional physical fitness, mental acuity, and
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's used the word grueling for every one of the selection tests. And again, I'm not taking anything away from this. These things are hard, but he's basically saying similar, if not the same things over and over and over again for everyone that he's talking about, and trying to make it seem just as impressive every time. That's funny.
The ability to operate under extreme pressure. Training encompasses a wide range of skills, from urban warfare and close quarters combat to advanced surveillance and intelligence analysis.
Oh, that was interesting. They were actually shooting at that dummy, and that looked like a real person sitting beside it. That's something we would not be allowed to do in Canada in training. Yeah, wow.
Selection and training become part of an elite unit bound by a deep sense of duty and camaraderie. Their motto, by strength and guile, reflects their unique
strength and guile,
prowess and cunning, essential for their covert operations.
For the
Chapter
reconnaissance.
7, Silent Warriors.
So, yeah, reconnaissance. They're tough. I'm reconnaissance patrolman qualified. I'm also combat intelligence qualified. That's the thing about 1RCR. I was in 12 years and I never stopped training. I've got so many specialized training courses. It's nuts, actually. And every single person in 1RCR was the same way. So, and the reason for that is that we were trained so that we could step into any job at any time that it was necessary. And reconnaissance is freaking hard. You're in a 2 or a 3-man det, and you are well forward of the rest of the battalion, the battle line, and all by yourself. And the only security that you really have is stealth. And it's your job to figure out what the enemy is doing, it's your job to figure out what's on the ground and send that back to combat intelligence. And then it's their job to figure out, based on what you're seeing, what the enemy is doing. And that's a really interesting back and forth there, because the dance that we had built, and like I said, I've worked both sides of this, was really impressive to watch. And we could figure out, based on what those guys were seeing, whether it would be men on the ground, equipment on the ground, types of vehicles that they were using, those kinds of things. We could figure out where in the order of advance the enemy was and what their final objective was. And we could let the battalion commander know that, so that, or the brigade commander, so that he could get troops to where he needed them to be in order to win the day. And it was, I was impressed with what it was we were doing, and I was one of the ones doing it.
Of the sea. Cloaked in secrecy and shrouded in mystery, the Special Boat Service, or SBS, is the maritime counterpart to the SAS, and one of the most elite Special Forces units in the world. Born out of the
Every single one that he's talked about has been one of the most elite Special Forces units in the world. I'm just saying.
During exploits of World War II, the SBS has evolved into a formidable force.
A lot of touching going on again.
Specializing in covert operations, counter-terrorism, and hostage rescue missions. Their training is grueling, demanding the utmost in physical stamina, mental resilience, and tactical proficiency.
Yeah, okay. So I've talked about this in a lot of other things. And again, he's not wrong. The physical and the mental training here is grueling. It absolutely is. But it's just conditioning. You do it long enough and it just becomes easy to you. And that's the thing about almost anything that we do in the military or in the special forces is you train, you condition at whatever it is that you want to get good at. And that's one of the things that I've noticed about the tier 1 units that people are talking about. Basically what they do is they specialize in a particular type of situation, whether it be, hostage rescue or intelligence gathering behind enemy lines, or whether it be parajumps into hot LZs, or whether it be airborne insertions into mountainous terrain, desert terrain, Arctic terrain, like the things that we did. You train at what specific tasks you need to get good at, and then you get good at them. You either get good at them or you get tossed out of the unit. Every one of these tier 1 units are extremely good in what they do. However, there is another unit out there that will beat them in what that other unit does. Like, there's no one top tier 1 unit that is the best at everything, right? You have to specialize if you want to be the best at anything.
From the icy waters of the North Atlantic to the scorching deserts of the Middle East, SBS operatives are trained to thrive in the most hostile environments. Their motto, by strength and guile.
By strength and guile. That was the motto of the last unit, the reconnaissance regiment. So, okay, we have 2 units with the same motto. All right.
Unique blend of brute force and cunning strategy. Each mission is a testament to their unparalleled skill and bravery. Whether it's a stealthy insertion by sea, a high-stakes raid on enemy territory, or a critical reconnaissance mission deep behind enemy lines, the SBS operates in the shadows, often unseen and unheard. Despite their low profile, their impact is profound. From dismantling terrorist networks to rescuing hostages in the dead of night, the SBS remains a silent sentinel, ever vigilant, ever ready. They are the silent warriors of the sea.
I mean, again, it's very dramatic. Looks like we're basically done the video anyway. Yeah, this guy is really dramatic. And again, maybe to civilians, this is extremely dramatic. But to soldiers, To the people that do this, it's, yeah, okay, whatever. It's what we do. Um, so, forgive me for not getting my panties in a bunch that I'm so impressed with these guys. Again, taking nothing away from them, they're good. They're very good at what they do. In fact, I'll tell you, there were people out there that were trained in specific things that were better than me, a lot better than me. In fact, I mean, I think I've said this before. I was probably a mediocre soldier in 1 RCR. And there's probably people out there who'll tell me I wasn't even that. But we did basically the same jobs as all of these other units. And when we got together, Canada was right there at the top, if not beating them at the skills competitions that we had. And we did beat them multiple times. In Norway, we had the ski and shoot competition through the mountains there. Canada put 2 teams in, and we came 1 and 2 in the world. I'm proud of Canada, and I will remain proud of 1 RCR and the Canadian soldiers. So anyway, so that's it. Some good stuff here. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, please leave a like on the video if you like it, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.